What's up, everybody? This is James with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. I hope I did that right. I hope that you guys are here. I see somebody on the thing. If you're here, just say hi. Just wave at me. And if you're coming to me from the library, if you were at the library where I gave my talk about creating comic books, I want to say welcome to you. And just let me know that you're here. Let me know that you came from the library. And we got a good show for you today. I hope that I'm doing the technology stuff a little bit better. I hope you can hear me. If you can't hear me, also let me know. Let me see if there's a way for me to look at the chat a little bit better. Well, I guess you are not. We're a little delayed, so we'll give you a couple of seconds to see if anybody will chat. If you wouldn't mind, hit that like button. I think it's a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. That helps the channel grow. It helps people see that there's engagement, and it shows it to other people. At least that's what they tell me. So I'm going to say it because I heard it from other people online. So glad you're here. My name is James Nguyen. I'm the creator of Alpha Red, and this is the Alpha Red Comic Channel, where we are going to draw Captain America tonight. I'm going to show you. I'm going to see if I can be all fancy like the other guys and show you and use different cameras and all that kind of good stuff. This is underneath my table. We'll pull it out from underneath the table, but we'll work on this. I did do the little sketch on here, and I'll talk about that a little bit when we get into it. But you always want to, well, at least I do, I want to start off with a solid sketch, and then we go into, before we lose our way, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Just wanted to give you an update on Alpha Red issue number 6. Page 1 is completely inked. Just wanted to show you that there is progress going on. Page 2 of issue number 6, partially inked. And if you haven't already been here for other draw streams, we did some Deadpool. I'm going to color him sometime this week or this weekend. We got a Spider-Man to ink. And then we have, so I've been doing a series of, bear with me, I'm still here. Enjoy the music as I reach over here and look for a comic book that I hope is nearby, that I cannot find. Anyway, I was doing a series of characters that influenced the look or the attitude of Alpha Red, and Deadpool's outfit was inspiration for the color scheme. Issue number 3, Spider-Man, is inspiration for his personality. And issue number 4, if we get through the Captain America that I'm doing for Matt as a commission, we get back to another Captain America who inspires Alpha Red's power set. He's just super strong and super fast and super smart. And he was a product of the government putting something in his body. It wasn't really the government, but the Kingdom is an organization that put a chip into Alpha Red's brain, and he turns out pretty much with the powers of Captain America, but with Peter Parker as a personality. And then you'll have to guess who that last inspiration was. And then, am I working on a spawn? Jose, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you. But yes, the man of the hour tonight is this here, Captain America. And I'm going to bring him up. Bring him up. It's like the power of magic for you, but that moved from under my table to on top of the table. And we're gonna be all slick and fancy. Nope, that's just me. There we go. And can I do this right? Hey, things are getting better. I told you, I promised you guys I'd be getting better with this technology stuff. So let me resituate the microphone here, and we will get moving on this Captain America that I was commissioned to do by someone I met on Saturday at Toy Fest. So I really appreciate Matt for stopping and talking to me and ordering a sketch. So we're gonna use this time to show Matt the magic as it happens. Right. So the reason why I already kind of sketched them out is sometimes when you turn on a camera, you get all nervous and you can't think of the right things to do or say or whatever. So to ensure that Matt is going to get a quality picture, I drew the thumbnail on here. And good thing I did, because this is the third version of it. Third version of the pose that I had, and it's largely because the title on the cover is so big. It's more than a quarter of the page, and so that limited this to like a giant square, which I'm not a huge fan of. Maybe that's why I don't like Instagram. I'm not a huge Instagram fan, and maybe it's just because it's all square. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So we're just going to jump right in. Grab my HB pencil, nothing fancy. I'm ready for a Scantron test that might break out at any second. I'm going to peek into I'm going to put the earmuffs on here just to see if you guys are listening, if there's any echo or anything like that. Nope, doesn't seem like there's an echo, so you'll let me know if there's an echo, right? Right, Jose? All right. So we got the eyes. I don't know if I talked to you about that in previous draw streams, but the eyes are kind of the most important thing for me anyway, to kind of set the position of everything, because you want to make sure that when someone is looking at the eyes, they that's the anchor of the rest of the face. And if you get the face wrong, you get the whole positioning of the head wrong. And so I want to make sure that we get all that in the best position. Let me see. All right. So this is actually one of my favorite comic books. I don't have many Captain America comics. I'm a fan of Captain America, the character, but I can't say that I have a lot of Captain America comic books. And back when this came out in 2011, I believe that was around the story of Civil War, or not Civil War, Captain America Winter Soldier, maybe. And this was such a good compliment to that movie. Had the same characters and things, but the drawing from Steve McNiven was just top notch. This was when him in his prime. Steve McNiven has gone through some ebbs and flows, at least for me. No echo. Thank you, Jose. Thanks for letting me know. So Steve McNiven, obviously a great artist. I don't want to throw any shade on Steve McNiven, but lately his stuff is not what it used to be, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. He does great realism. It's like a mix of realism, but I don't know what it was about his stuff that was so appealing when he was doing this stuff. I just remember some Spider-Man issues where he just knocked it out of the park. But this was one of his good ones. And so to be able to draw another commission on here, I actually drew just a kind of a portrait of Chris Evans as Captain America on the cover that I originally had. I'm glad you're here, Matt. Glad you're here. I don't know if you've ever experienced watching a cover being drawn that you commissioned, but I hope it's a treat for you. So, yeah, just want to make sure I get all the right muscles and the right composition going for a good solid picture, especially when the owner of the picture is watching. You don't want to mess up. You don't want to mess it up live. So, Matt, at this point, you still can decide if you want it in color or not. I do have the colors to do a Captain America. It would just be an additional $20 on top of what we agreed on. Otherwise, I would do it in the gray markers. So you would still get the gray toning. You just, if you're interested, you just let me know. And before I get too far, I'll be thinking about doing it in color instead of doing it even in gray tones. It's just a little bit different mindset and different setup as far as the order that I do the inking, because I will throw the colors in first and then I will put the inks over top, because the colors tend to wash out the inks, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So I'll go in and do the coloring if that's what you would like. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep it inks with some gray tone markers. And that process I'll ask you right as I go to ink. That'll be speak now or forever hold your peace kind of thing. And you can let me know. So how was your day, Matt? You having a busy week? I had a 3-alarm fire, work-wise, not physically, thankfully. Right as the day was ending, somebody told me that they did something that I perceived was a huge deal, but they have since come back and assured me that they did not do what I thought that they did. So I'm happy to hear that. But at the time, like, my head exploded. My day was like done. All right, so I want to make sure I get the shield, and a lot of this pose had to do with the shield, because I wanted to make sure that I got the shield in there, and I also wanted to make sure that the shield was as big as I can make it. And it's really hard to get something that that is really round enough. I tried it a couple of different ways with like an oblong shape, and I didn't have anything big enough for the poses that I wanted. So you end up using the closest thing. So it just happens to be the masking tape that I use for everything in my room here. So we'll do that. These were the ovals that I was trying to use. It was just, nothing was big enough. I was just like, that's gonna look weak. But was not a huge fan of the size of the space that marble gives you. Let me see, what was the next one here? I believe it was this. Moving us just to make sure it's dark enough. I didn't really commit to it the other day. And then this last one, I think, is this, but I wanted to move it down just a hair. So what are you guys working on? Jose, what are you working on as far as artwork? I know you're an artist. And maybe you're drawing right now. Are you drawing with me? Are you doing a Captain America? Are you drawing Cap? I saw some of that graffiti thing that you were working on. You guys have any thoughts, any questions? I'd love to hear it. So today I was at the public library. I just came from there actually, and gave a little talk on how to create comics, and that was fun. Really an engaging group of teens and young people, and then their parents. Some of the parents and grandparents that were there asked some really good questions, so that was neat. It was a good experience. And I am very thankful to Brian. Hopefully maybe Brian's listening. The librarian, who is a comic fan, who invited me to speak at the public library. That was very cool of him. See, Jose, your black and whites are awesome. Your transition to color, amazing. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So, when you're drawing like this stuff, like if you care, like Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld and those guys back then, when they were making these lines right here, if you're looking at photography and actual art, like this would be the horizon, and this is bending to the shape of the shield, and so this would be like the top of a room or the top of a mountain or whatever it's reflecting right there, and then this line down here might be the bottom of a room, just bending to the shape of the shield, and that's where you get some of these reflections. It's not arbitrary. I know it seems arbitrary, and if you're not a good artist and you don't know real art, you don't know why they do it, and then you just copy that they do some of this transitioning here, this rendering, and you go, well, Jim Lee does it, so I'm going to do it. But if you don't know why Jim Lee does it, then you're missing half the lesson, the appeal of why his artwork is so compelling, because he's thinking of that, and he will always create it. Well, not always, but he will be thinking of that as he's creating that. So I'm going with the super stacked version of Captain America. I was listening to, I forget what I was listening to. Who was I listening to? I think it was the Rob Liefeld podcast, Robservations, and he was talking about Michael Turner. And he was talking about why Michael Turner's artwork was so compelling, and he was just like, his women were so feminine and his men were so masculine, and I was like, yeah, maybe that was it. And so as I'm working through some of these drawings that I'm doing on sketch covers, for my own sketch covers, for Alpha Red sketch covers, I'm just thinking, do the most feminine women and the most masculine men, and I think comic book fans just are drawn to that, because comic books are like extreme. They can be slice of life, they can be realistic or whatever, but sometimes they're just super heroic. Let me see here. Yes, I'm drawing Cap with Awesome, Jose. I'm looking forward to seeing it, man. Looking forward to it. All right, I think I got the gist of it down here, as far as this goes. So Matt, forever hold your peace. I'm going to start with some inks here, and it's just going to get the inks and the gray tone if you're all right with that. I'm erasing a little bit just so that I'm not fighting the pencils later, because it's all going to be ink. So we're 1 minute in. Okay, so we're going to go until 9 o'clock Eastern time here. So, and I'm sure we'll be done. I shouldn't say that. I'll say that, and then I'll be noodling with this and just won't be happy until I spend an extra 10-15 minutes with it after 9 o'clock. But that's how it goes sometimes. You want to get the best picture, especially when the customer is waiting. Yeah, I surprised myself when I invited you, Matt, to check it out on the live stream, because typically I do not like it. It's just a little bit of extra added pressure. I think whether or not you want color, I think I'm just going to make his eyes blue, so I don't pop when, even if everything else is just gray and black and white. Where's my colors? Before I forget, because I want to do over his eyeballs. See, this is my handy dandy box of random markers. And one is this light, super light blue. And we're just going to dab into his eyeballs there. Pull off this.
This is the sound of your
piercing
ride
blue
home
eyes
with Dad after
staring at you.
vaping.
Yeah, so I'm on a kick as far as making sure
Awkward,
the guys
isn't
look,
it? Most vapes
super
contain
heroic,
seriously addictive levels of
and
nicotine
the women
and disappointment.
are
Know the
feminine.
real cost of vapes. Brought to you by the FDA.
And I hope people respond to it, because I know as a fan of the artwork, I respond to it. It seems, are you going for the traditional Captain America uniform? I am going for the original, well, not the original, but just the cap with the ears, and yeah. I don't know, it's always a mix, I guess, because there's been a few iterations of it. I do like the seam that they put on his head, and that has come from the Ultimates version. And at first I thought it was just kind of relegated to the Ultimates version of him, and then they brought it over to the 616, and I'm okay with it. Pretty okay with it. So when you're drawing the mouth, you know, I'm always thinking, what would Jim Lee do? And he doesn't always connect the lips in the middle there. I might have to, though, because I kind of took a weird angle. There you go. Maybe not. Maybe not. Just omit some stuff. I might actually go in there with the... Oops. Change the eye. I hate that the little heart in the corner there covers up parts of the words there. So Matt says, missed what you had said about a change, but I'm here for whatever it is. So no, that's. I was asking if you wanted it in color or not. There's time yet to do it in color because I have the colors. Captain America has some basic colors, and I have at least 2 tones of all of his coloring. So I'm comfortable with offering you colors. If because I hesitate sometimes because I don't have enough colors for some characters. The traditional red, white, and blue seems to be. I have plenty for that. So if you're willing to add $20 to the cost, I will turn him red, white, and blue. Let's see. Okay. Well, we'll see when we get to the shield. I think I do like the gray tones for right now, and we'll see if and when I have to make that decision, a more concise decision. It's darker. Alright. Yeah, so it was a good turnout at the library. So if anybody is joining me from the library, just let me know in the chat here that you were there. I hope you enjoyed the talk about how to create comic books. They had some great questions. There are some teenagers, and whatever you hear about teenagers, they can absolutely surprise you with how engaged they are and how much they care. So I was happy to see that. We'll do. Where's the 50? The 5. 5. This is the 30. Do I need any more 30? Oops. I have to replenish my gray markers here. Do 50. Here's the 50. The 50 will be main tones for the red, I think. We'll keep that. The main tones for the red. What's going on, Brian? I appreciate that. I appreciate you inviting me out to present at the library, and the kids were great. I know that you would agree. Thanks for sticking around and helping me clean up. So that's red. What else is there? Yep, here's some red. And some red. I'll go back in, and when I lay the inks on top, it'll be pretty cool. So this is The red part of the shield. Hopefully I'm remembering right. Yeah, Jose, I know you're right. I know that you can just put it over top. I just don't prefer it. Turns out okay most of the time. Just not my preference, I guess. I've seen it done well. I have seen it done well. But yeah, on Saturday I went to Toy Fest, and that turned out very good. Now I haven't been on the draw stream since Toy Fest, but Toy Fest was, today is Wednesday, so Saturday a lot of people came out, and a lot of people were very receptive to Alpha Red. Had a lot of good discussions, and I cannot complain about that at all. Alright. Might be the blue too. Might be the blue too. Let's see if I can get a nice layer of the 30. Let's just try it under here. I'm just gonna do cap mostly in the 30. And then we'll make sure we can separate those out from the reds. So yeah, a lot of people, he said that there were 836 people who showed up for Toy Fest. One day show from 8:30 to 3. I want to say 3 or 3:30. I want to say it was 3. And man, what a good crowd. Good crowd, and they were very receptive to talk about Alpha Red, talk about comics. You know, it's a toy show and a collecting show. But it turned out pretty good as far as people just being open to talking comics. There were some people who were just not about it at all. Didn't want to hear anything about comics, but you know, for the most part, people were really receptive. Sold about 30 copies of Alpha Red. I am very depleted as far as how many I have on hand. So, see if I'm missing anything. How's your Patreon page coming along? It exists. Jose, my Patreon page exists. So, if you haven't seen me on social media, I just activated a Patreon, and you know, it is what it is, and I am hopeful that people will join me in investing in some future Alpha Red comics. I will be announcing things on there, like when I'm doing commissions. Commissions are not always open. Commissions can become distracting when I'm prioritizing commissions over new Alpha Red art. So if anybody supported the Kickstarter, you should have gotten your rewards. I sent all of the rewards out. I did hear back from somebody that I did not send the right thing, so we're gonna make sure we get that squared away. But if you have not gotten your Alpha Red rewards, let me know, because that's not right. definitely should have gotten them by now. And if they are incorrect, also let me know. Alright, I think I'm ready for some other colors here. That was, let's lay that down, lay down a base. Where's the 50? 50, 50, 50. Is this the 5? Yes. Alright, let's catch underneath this mask here. See what that does. Oh, that's nice. Get the front thing here where everybody just kind of makes it so dark so that you can absolutely see the A. So if you guys are interested, or if you're curious, I would appreciate you popping over to the Patreon. I think you can go over to jamesq.net, and that should take you over to the Patreon, and just become a member. There's a free member thing, and I'll be posting a bunch that you can see for free, and then hopefully I can figure out what not to show, and save that for the people who become members, paying members, paying tiers, so that I can hire some colorists. So by the time I get to the crowdfunding stage of things, I hope that I'm just crowdfunding for the printing. I would love to have it colored as I go. Number one, because I'd love to see it. I love to see it come to life, just selfishly. I would just love it, and not wait. Get it colored page by page. But then at the same time, I'd love to reduce the amount that I ask for crowdfunding, because it is stressful when you're asking for a couple $1,000s, and there's only so many exclusive things that you can do to kind of overcharge people, and so it is a balance. You don't want to abuse your fans of your work, because maybe a lot of them would support me along the way. And then the crowdfunder comes along, and I expect them to overpay again for more Alpha Red. But the things that are going to be offered on the Patreon will not just be Alpha Red. There will be things like these sketch covers and things. So I'm hoping that people can find all kinds of stuff, all kinds of ways to support the production of new Alpha Reds. I don't know if these scales will work here. Let me try the bigger side. Yeah, so Jose, I think I was telling you where I was using these old Prisma markers as just the vessel to add Copic refills to, just because I didn't want to buy those markers because they're so expensive, but the refills are like dirt cheap. So, you know. but this is it. I mean, these are old Prismacolor markers, and I just figured out what gray tone was for what. It's pretty easy, and that's what I did. Alright, let's see if we can't make this pop a little bit here with the lines, with the line work. So I am pretty happy with being done with fulfillment. I'm not happy that I got one of the fulfillments wrong and then I still have to do it. But I'm happy that most of them are out, and I'll have to check the tracking to see if they all delivered, but it's a grind to get everything packed and mailed. And there was one lady who was, when I went to her, things were a lot cheaper. And then this last lady, who was the normal lady, every time she rang something up, it was like over $10. I was like, the other lady is ringing stuff up for like $6 and $7. What's going on here? So I'm a little sus about the one lady. She's super nice. She seems very competent. But what buttons are you pushing that the other lady was not pushing? I need to push the other buttons, please. Yeah. So whenever I think of Captain America, I always think of the Captain America from X-Men 268. And if you've watched my live streams before, you know that that's the issue that kind of sparked my inspiration to draw comics. And it is never too far from my side. And I look at it all the time for inspiration. And it is the cover to the Jim Lee X-Men Art Edition that has all of X-Men #1, all that stuff in it, and it just has so many pages of X-Men 268, and it's just a phenomenal issue. And that will forever be my Black Widow. That will forever be my Captain America. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Also the great no. Just making sure I didn't miss anything from you guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out and watching the old draw stream. And hopefully I'm getting better with the technology. I didn't rush it. I came home from the library, and that's the first thing I did, was make sure that all my cameras and stuff were working so that it's not as janky as some of the other videos. And I am happy to report that I'm not all frazzled because of the technology. Usually I'm half guessing, half anxious about it. And then after I listen to it, when I'm done, I notice an echo, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. It makes me more anxious about the next time. So I'm happy to say that I think I did pretty good this time technology-wise. Oh my goodness. Where did the time go? 15 more minutes, guys. 15 more minutes. 15 minutes to make this thing sing. It's all gonna work out, Matt. Don't worry. All gonna work out. You can always watch it later in fast speed. Sometimes it's painful to watch. I can draw stream live because, like, doesn't take you that long to draw stuff. Man. But it does. It does. It takes sometimes hours. But with some of these things, you know, you learn some shorthand. And you learn how to do things faster. This is the meaning of shorthand. I'm just gonna black those other sides out. So that's what I mean by shorthand. Like this is all gonna be black. And this is gonna be black, that's gonna be black, that's black. And then, alright, I'm gonna bring in the tape. The old masking tape. Make sure I line it up right so that I can get all the way around. Let me see, line it up at the top here. And I don't have the best view. You have the better view, actually. You, the camera, has a better view than I do. I don't want this to slip, so keep that away. Sometimes when I'm inking, I hold my breath. Sorry about that. I hold my breath because I feel like if I breathe wrong, the line curves. So as I'm drawing, I'm inking a long, elongated line, I will hold my breath. I don't know if that's justified or not, but mentally I hold my breath. Mentally, it calms my nerves. I don't mentally hold my breath. That doesn't make any sense. Alright. And get this the biggest. There's that, and then I think it's this over here. Boom. Just hold my breath there. Refilling the Prismacolor with the ink and the Copic. I made that up myself. Filling the Copic markers, the Prismacolors up with the Copic, because I am cheap. When you are as broke as I was, not broke now, but there was a time where every penny was pinched multiple times. So it was definitely being creative with my limited art funds. Definitely. And I continue to be cheap. I think it's just a mindset. After a while, you're just like, this is the way to do it. This is how life is. Why spend more money than you need to? Just be creative. Just be creative. And while I'm doing the inking, I know that I'm going to come back and hit it with the ink brush to kind of give it that extra professional look. That gives it the line weights and stuff, so I don't get too caught up in this part of it, even though I will go back and do a little bit more rendering after the ink brush, the brush pen. I don't, this is why I can kind of speed through just some of the hinting of the wrinkles or muscles or whatever. And like this, this won't take an ink pen, ink brush. So I'll do a little bit of rendering that like that to give it more of a rounded effect. So Matt, who are your favorite artists? What artists do you follow? Do you follow artists? Or are you just a character guy? I follow Jim Lee everywhere. For a long, long time. I did give up on him after a while. He stopped doing monthly stuff. And, I tried to follow him. I did lose him with the Batman, the Frank Miller stuff that he did. I didn't care for that. It was a little dark for me. So I just don't know what it was. I just didn't feel compelled to keep collecting that. Or as dark as that felt. It just didn't feel like the Batman that I like. So, alright. I think I'm coming in with a brush pen. Find my brush pens. Picking up some of these lines. I do hold my breath. It's like hold your breath, hold your breath, hold your breath. So if I'm not talking, it's because I'm holding my breath. Yeah, Jose, do you know if I won that Evangeline contest on the Rob Liefeld page? I think I was squeaking it out, but I don't know when the voting ends. I saw that you popped up on there and gave me a shout out. That was awesome. Can I do it in 6 minutes? Can I do it in 6 minutes? I can do most of it in 6 minutes. I can do most of it in 6 minutes. Try not to hold my breath. Like, it's awfully quiet. Hope you guys you get some music playing, because right now I don't hear any music. I'd have to put the headphones on to hear it, and it gets really hot. looks pretty good, getting there, getting there. You're getting there. Make sure you get that reflection thing in there. Be intentional about some of these lines. Usually makes it so easy, looks so easy. I've seen him on at conventions and stuff, and he's just sitting there, just banging out a gambit or whatever. 7-minute gambit. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video. His 7-minute gambit is insane. Absolutely insane. Alright, go back in, do some touch-ups as far as some rendering here. It's like a transition from black to not black. They still have a folding chart. I have watched the entire thing in that video. I appreciate it. Appreciated that. Hold my breath on some of these. I can just sit here and noodle on these pictures like forever, and that is my cross I have to bear. Because I'll call it done for like in another minute or two, but I'll still be noodling with that. So when you see it, it won't look exactly like this, but it'll look a lot like this, but not entirely. And it's because I'll look at it and I go, oh, I missed that. And I go back and, oh, I missed that. And it's get a better and better picture. Better than a convention sketch for sure. So I decided that I'm probably not going to do any more convention sketches, just because the priority now is going to be alpha red. So I'll take commissions that people can pick up at conventions, but as far as taking commissions right at a convention, just probably I'll say that, and then next convention I'll take a commission if there's nothing else going on. But I don't think I even brought my drawing stuff. Yeah, I didn't even bring my drawing stuff to the conventions. to the past 2 conventions. So, alright guys, we're going to call it quits here. I really appreciate you guys sticking around for this hour. Just want to respect your time, want to respect my wife's time. She asked me to stay within the hour, please. I've been pretty busy all day, especially with the library thing, which she showed up to. And I was so super excited that she was there to support me. She doesn't always come out to these things. And so whenever she comes out, I gotta respect what she asked me to do. So it's almost done, Matt. Almost done. I'll noodle with it a little bit more, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching this. And did I hit it? 901. 901. I'm in trouble. So guys, thanks for sticking around. I'm gonna hit the outro, and then we'll call it a quits. Let me see if I can be smooth and hit this outro. I think this is the button. All right, Grace, peace. Ha!